It's okay. We can see and we hear you.
Okay, good morning to everyone. Well, my name is Yamil Quispe. I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina. We are located basically in Neuquén, which is like the industrial capital of Argentina. We are working. We have been working these 5 years strongly with Russia in our Russian-Argentinian Union. It has to do with empower entrepreneurs, industrialists, businessmen, and building a bridge between our two countries. And mainly this is a message to all the entrepreneurs, young engineers, which are working with a project according to the new world that is coming. All of us belong to emerging countries, emerging economies, mainly countries of BRICS. And it has to do with economies that which are looking for new ways of development. Argentina, for instance, we have many assets, many important assets like agro, like lithium, like oil and gas, LNG market, which is now growing, and the Russian-Argentinian Industrial Union has to do with establishing direct business contacts between entrepreneurs, between Russia and Argentina. It has to do with implementation of joint trade, economic and investment projects. Well, you have here in the slide all the points that we are working. The next slide, please. Argentina now is officially entering into the BRICS bloc, as I always say, the BRICS world, which has to do essentially with the point I recently mentioned, we have emerging traits, and it has to do with looking for new ways to develop our economies, to develop our industries, to develop all the projects that has to do with improve the quality of life. And it's in direct contact with the engineering, how to look more efficiency, how to look for new ways of developing a project. Politically and I think in this new period, in this new year, with the presidency of Lula da Silva in Brazil, I think that we will complete like the entrance to the BRIC bloc countries. Well, one of these assets in Argentina has to do with Vaca Muerta. Vaca Muerta is an oil and gas asset in terms of non-conventional oil and gas. It is the second biggest asset in gas and the fourth in oil in the world. It's a world-class block, very important, and we are behind us is the USA and other important countries, and we are developing with an intensive energy now. It is producing, Vaca Muerta is producing half of the gas and half of the oil of Argentina up to the moment. So it has the power to become the natural resource that can empower Argentinians to go to another types of technologies or assets. For instance, apart from all these natural assets that Argentina naturally has, we trust on our human capital. I think that the process that was strongly developed in the USA, like the Silicon Valley or Skolkovo in Russia, we have the opportunity here in Argentina to develop our human capital, taking into account that we have natural resources to empower our people, again, our engineers, just because there exists a great correlation between innovation and efficiency, which is always in the hands of our engineers. Well, Vaca Muerta, the next slide, please. Well, we have world-class operators like Shell, ExxonMobil, Chevron, Petronas, well, Equinor, and some national companies like our oil and gas national company YPF. Also, we have Gazprom here. The next slide, please, and others. This is Neuquén province. I always call Neuquén province as the industrial capital. It's our Houston, I don't know which is in Russia the oil and gas capital or industrial capital. But I think that Neuquén has the power to compromise all the efforts, all the national efforts, and also from investments from abroad. The next slide, please. Well, this is a kind of tongue. We have, up to the moment, for instance, in the world, Argentina is very well known of the power of agro. And the agro here in Argentina generates incomes annually of an amount of $30,000 million. And Vaca Muerta, up to the moment, generate incomes for an amount of $2,000 million per year, but it has been exploded up to the moment, just it's 3%. So Vaca Muerta has the power to become like a second Pampa Húmeda or like a second agro for Argentina, but it's really it's connected with the technologies, and this is the next step for Argentina, to have our own Silicon Valley, to have our own Skolkovo, to explode really this big asset. The next one. Well, Neuquén, it's like the red piece. It's producing almost the 0.5% of all the oil and gas of Argentina. The next one. Well, I think it's, as I always say, it's time to build bridges. We have offices in Moscow now. We understand that we have to be in Russia now, this moment. There is another concept that I would like to share for this last minute. We are talking during the pandemic, during the COVID-19 in Argentina. Just in 1 month, our people created 3 unicorns. As you know, unicorns are companies valuated in $1,000 million in the market. But there are other concepts, I think, to be worked, to be added to the list, like centaurs or dragons or ponies, which are lower market capital, like $10 million. But there is another which in Argentina we are working, and are like the camel startups. Why camel? As I said in the beginning, we belong to emerging countries, and the concept of camel startup has to do with the desert that is always looking for efficiency, is looking for innovation, and not depending on the money. Well, It's time to build bridges. Welcome to Argentina. We have the faith and we are embracing our industrial union.
Yamil, thank you for your magnificent speech. And of course, we have questions to you from our audience, from our young engineers.
Dear colleagues, maybe you have some questions for... Okay, I have to switch to Russian. Коллеги, может быть, есть вопросы? Emil, thank you very much for your presentation. It's very, very interesting for us. As far as I understand, we have good cooperation in energy projects. For example, I speak about gas, about oils, maybe something else. And what do you think about future cooperation, for example, between Argentina and Russia in chemical projects, maybe something else? Can you answer to my question?
Yeah, indeed, we are in the last, I was 3 months in Moscow 3 months ago. I had some meetings with Novatek and with Tatneft. We are looking for, we are working in agreements of cooperation to work here in Argentina. For instance, Novatek is working with one of our national private companies called Pampa Energy, looking for new ways to building an LNG plant here. They showed us that they are providing, indeed, they are the biggest provider in the world of LNG. And with that need, we were talking about building like a petrochemical polo, a petrochemical point or cluster here in Neuquén. We are convinced that we need the experience of the Russian industrialists and of course the Russian investment. But it has not to do everything with money. I think that we should share experiences. Russia has like a long experience in the world of oil and gas.
Okay, it's very important. Both our countries has a good experience in these fields. It's very important for our future cooperation. No questions. Thank you very much.
No problem. They are amazed.